The sheet that we have, it is food inspections for the state of Colorado or something like that, and it consists of two tables with the primary key being the inspection ID. The sheet that we have, it is food inspections for the state of Colorado or something like that, and it consists of two tables with the primary key being the inspection ID. And so here's the inspection ID and here's the violations. And so in this violation table there is like a couple for the same inspection ID but different violations. So let's see how we do this. Alright, so first, whenever I'm going to do something like this where I'm doing something pretty complicated in Excel, I'm going to try to copy the sheet, play on it, and if it works, replace it, and if not, then in a bad place. Now all of this doesn't matter to me at all, so I'm going to just delete it. Alright, to do this we'll be using the Vlookup function. You can use index and match, but it is less intuitive, and so I'm going to use the Vlookup. So equals Vlookup of the lookup value is going to be the inspection ID, and the table array I'll look up in is food inspections. And so I'm going to start A1 to B1, Control Shift down. It's going all the way to the bottom. Now I'm going to hit F4 because I don't want that table to change. Now I'm going to hit comma, and now the next argument is column index number. So the first one would be 1, and the second one would be 2. So 1 or 2. And then finally, range lookup, I want it to be exact, so I'm going to say false. Alright, I'm going to close that. Now, that's to the wrong sheet. I wanted it to go to the violations sheet. So I'm going to go over here and change the sheet name to violations. Violations. Enter. Bam. So now, 198.2794 is pulling up 30. But there's 3 in for 198.274. So, which one do you want? Well, my professor specifically said he wanted 18 and 18 only, and to have the sheet be highlighted. So, I'm going to do a little bit with that. First, I'm going to do a quick example. I'm going to do a VLOOKUP value where I'm looking for one where the first digit of this is a 1. Kind of similar how the first digit would be an 18, or the first couple digits. So I do equals VLOOKUP. I'm looking up a value of 1, comma, the table array is going to be actually this array, this table right here. Column index number, it's going to be 1 because there's only 1. Range lookup false. And that doesn't work because it's kind of obvious that it doesn't work because there's no 1s. There's a 1, 2, 3, but so in order to get the 1 part, I'd need to do left of that, which grabs the integer, or it turns it into a string and it grabs the rightmost character. And so then I'm going to say 1 left of that, which grabs the integer, or it turns it into a string and it grabs, and so then I'm going to say 1 character, or the leftmost character, sorry, left, duh. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again, and it's going to say no. The reason for this failure is because this is a number and it's returning a string. So I'm going to try it again. It's also going to say no. And that is because it is making a mini array inside of a bigger function. And so you have to do Control Shift Enter. Bam, it's returning a 1 for right there. So what if I wanted to have 2 different criteria? So then I'd have this 1, and then I'd have a ampersand, and then I'd have the next. And so the next value is I'm going to want it to be named Tom. How about that? Or Mary. Then This first one is pertaining to the 1, and then I'm going to hit an ampersand, and then I'm going to, this next table array that will be looking up the values will be this little one. Okay, and so, and then after that you hit enter, it says value, you have to do F2, Control-Shift-Enter, and it works. Because it's returning the 1, and then it's the Mary, and it's great. And so I could even add Chuck, and have a 2, 3, 4. No, I could add a Mary with a 2, 3, 4, and a Tom with a 1, 2, 3, and I could extend this table to be to D8 to make it to go to D10, and C8 to C10, and hit enter, and no, F2, Control Shift Enter, and it'd still only return the 1 and the Mary. Okay, so now that we see a VLOOKUP, it works. It works with multiple multiple criteria on multiple columns. So when you do Control-Shift-Enter, it's making an array, and making an array like that, it makes a temporary mini spreadsheet, or at least that's what I think of it as. And then after it gets the value, it makes the spreadsheet go away. And so that's what I'm going to be doing over here. So here's this. So this violations table has A1 to B77, and it's column 2. But the thing is, we want to have a second criteria. So I'm going to do the ampersand, and then I'm going to do 18 in quotes to make sure Excel thinks of it as a string. I'm going to go to the end of the array, and I'm going to do an ampersand, and this one will be the violations B to the end of B only. And then I'm going to hit F4 because I don't want that table to change. And then I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to be a value because it doesn't like it. So I'm going to do Control-Shift-Enter, and now it says not available because turns out this number doesn't have any violations from number 18. But if I double click here, it extends down. Oh, no, that should be extending down and being correct. Let's look up one that's supposed to be true. 18. 198, 277, 6. Okay. So that's where that should be, and that should be true. Why is that not true? That'd be A1? No, it'd be B1. That's why. I didn't do left. Okay. So I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to put in the left. So, for the table array, not only is it going to have 2 different values, but it's going to make a mini array with the left. So I'm going to do left of this table array, comma, 2 characters. Now something I found out earlier was that this little table array has some leading spaces. So I'm going to have to do trim, and trim it down so I'll get the exact digits I want. So I'm going to hit enter. Oh, what did I do? No, trim doesn't have any too. Okay. And it didn't work because it shouldn't. Now Control-Shift-Enter. There we go. And then double click to fill down. Comma 2. And then column 2, and then false. Control-Shift-Enter. Alright, F2, Control-Shift-Enter. Bam! Okay. Control-V. Okay, whatever. F2, go in here, put in a comma 2. Okay, Control-Shift-Enter. And then now double click down. Bam! See, it's now pulling about the 18s, even though this is not the first one for 198.2776. Like 76, there's at least 2 ahead of it, and VLOOKUP, if you use it alone, would pull back the 33. Okay, so now that we have this, we can't put this directly into conditional formatting, because conditional formatting, you can't do a Control-Shift-Enter. I tried it a few times and it wasn't pretty. But I can do if error and do so home equals if error, and then if the value if error will be false or something like that. And then Control-Shift-Enter. So that works. If I can do a conditional formatting off of that. So Control-A. Notice that the active cell is B2. And I'm going to go to Conditional Formatting. Make a new rule. Use a formula. I'm going to say equals B2, because that's my active cell. I'm going to hit F4. But that's not quite what I want. I want it to apply to every row. So I'm going to say, as long as just do an if statement, if that is not equal to false, then true, else false. It's super lazy, mean really complicated, but whatever, it works. Now F2, Control-Shift-Enter, then have it go down, and bam, it highlights, it's working, and it's great. Alright, and that new column just for this. And so you'd have to hide it or put it at the end of the stuff. But it is possible to conditionally format an entire row based off of multiple criteria in a different sheet. And so that is it. Sweet. And that's it.